Hi guys, this is Kambi, and today we will be doing a beginner's tutorial and overview of Rec Room. This tutorial would be perfect for people who just got the VR headset for the holidays and maybe they're not necessarily a gamer, but they download Rec Room and they want to figure out how to play because it's such a great platform. It could be a bit confusing and overwhelming at first, so I'll be going over some basics. The first thing that will happen when you download Rec Room is you'll be put through an orientation that looks like this.
Welcome to Rec Room. For your first day, we have a quick orientation to show you what Rec Room is all about and give you a chance to get the hang of the controls.
Alright, so you could choose either teleport mode or walk mode. Your rotation, which is, if it's 45 degrees, you're going to turn 45 degrees every time you turn the remote. Snap 90 is 90 degrees, and then smooth is smooth. I would recommend starting at snap 45 if you're on VR for the first time, because you will get a little bit dizzy if you're on smooth. VR mode would be if you're standing or sitting, it just adjusts your height. And then if you want subtitles for the orientation.
Head inside to get started.
Alright, and so we're just going to move the joystick forward.
Rec Room is the best place to meet up with your friends and play games together. With a friendly and growing global community, you'll always have others to enjoy your time with, no matter what you love to do. Almost everywhere you go in Rec Room, you'll see people playing games together. Don't worry if you're not too competitive. Games are a great way to break the ice. Even when the competition gets intense, the spirit of being excellent to each other is always front and center. All right, let's practice playing with some of the objects in the room. Give it a shot. How's your aim? Up and over. That's it. In Rec Room, you have free control of your hands. You can wave to others and even dance. Care to give it a go? That's it. The last stop on the tour is all about our creative community. The Maker Pen is your gateway to creation. For some, this means creating beautiful 3D artwork. For others, it means building entire games of their own. If you're ever curious to learn more about building, we have a whole creator community with friendly teachers who would love to show you around. So much of the amazing stuff you'll see in Rec Room is built by people just like you. From artistic hangout spaces, to escape rooms, to dungeon crawling adventures. You can find player-made rooms about almost anything. Congratulations! You finished orientation. We have a special gift to commemorate. As a brand new member, you get the keys to your very own. The door to the right leads to the campus dormitories. Let's check out your new dorm.
Alright, so after graduation, you will open the door and you will be put in a blank dorm room that will look like this. It might have some extra pieces that I've deleted out, like basketballs and darts. So the first thing that I'd recommend doing is just trying to figure out the controls and the triggers and how to like shoot a basketball or throw a dart, and just play around in your dorm room for at least 5 to 10 minutes. There should also be a whiteboard on the second story loft, and you could try coloring and using the whiteboard. And once you have completed those items, I would say it's time to get started and learn how to use the watch menu. So let's go take a look. Alright, so the first thing you'll notice is if you look at either of your wrists, there's a watch. And if you hit the home button on the top, you'll have all these different buttons. I'll be going through each one of them. The first one is on the top left is your profile. If you want to take a picture, you could click right over here. Obviously, I have a picture already. As you get more experience and cheers, you'll also be able to add different badges to your profile. If you have a name that you decide to change, I would recommend changing the second line here, because the first name is you could only change one time unless you're positive you know what you want it to be. But this name down here is what people will see, and you could change it, I believe, up to 3 times a week. Over here would be your Rec Room token balance, or how much, I guess, money you have, how many people subscribe to you. If you don't have Rec Room Plus, I'd recommend it, but maybe hold off a week just to make sure you enjoy the game, which I'm sure you will. And then get tokens. They do have a good beginner's token package, I believe, for $5. I'd recommend getting that. You get a ton of tokens and gifts. And then you have some items down here if you want to save outfits, if you want to block people. But I usually don't really go down here, so you don't really need to look at it right now. If you want to create a bio, you could type one out. Portfolio basically just has all the things that you've created, so obviously if you're a first-time user, you're not going to have anything there. And a wish list is just what items you would like that you don't currently own. Again, not important in the beginning. If you decide to change your comfort settings, like the rotation, you could go over and click this gear button right here. Audio would be how loud you want the different noises to be. Music is the music, obviously. Sounds would be maybe like eating something or dropping an item. Ambience is sort of like background noise. Voices would be from other players. And if you decide you just want to only listen to your friends and not everyone in a public lobby, if you want to change your voice pitch, I would keep it normal. At least that's my opinion. And you want to keep your microphone on if you want people to hear you. If you put it on push to talk, which is PTT, you'd have to hold down your left trigger on the Oculus button at least, and your mic will only work when that's pressed down. Experience. Personal space, I'd recommend moving this to small. It's basically if someone comes near you, you'll become invisible, and probably they'll become invisible as well. I believe it starts off at medium or large, but usually you don't have people coming up in your space that make you feel uncomfortable, but if you do, you could always change that later on. Who you want to appear online to. Right now I'm none because I'm recording, but you probably in the beginning just set it to all so everyone can see that you're online. Ignore bubble. I think this kind of goes hand in hand with the personal space. It's just how close you want people to get to you. I don't really think there's anything else important here for the beginning. The gameplay, that's the important one. So again, if you're standing or seated, so if you change positions, you could always edit your VR mode. Movement mode, so teleport would be if you, let's see, I'm not very good at teleport, so this will be interesting. Oh, yeah. So it'll be pretty much a click and go. Some people will need to do that in the beginning because they get motion sick. I always walk, but that's a personal preference. Which is your walking hand? So I guess this would follow your dominant hand, but to be honest, I'm a righty, so I'm not even sure why I have left hand selected, but it must not make that big of a difference. You can measure your height, so it adjusts you off the floor correctly. Here's your rotation mode that we saw earlier in the orientation room. Comfort settings, I wouldn't really worry about those for now. That might be a bit more advanced, and then you have your advanced, which again, you don't have to worry about. So the important ones would really be your audio, making sure your experience, I guess, is set to small or off, that you're showing online to everyone, and that you have the gameplay mode set up that in the way that makes you the most comfortable to play. So, you'll notice on the bottom right here, they have the rec center, and also over here in your dorm room, there's a door to the rec center. The rec center is basically an open area or lobby where up to, I believe, 20 people could join in from different platforms, different countries, and you could interact and talk with people. It's a good way to just hang out. You could buy items in the rec center booth. I'll show you that in a little bit. If you're looking more to play games, you could hit this play button right here. And you'll see there's going to be a ton of different options. So if you go to Rec Room Originals, you'll notice that there's a good page of different games and places that are actually created and sponsored by Rec Room. These are the games that you will be able to get experience points and level up with, and also get gifts when you complete a game. So if I go back here to my profile, you'll see that I'm level 50, which is the max level. You'll start at level 0 and you'll level up each time you play, and as you get closer to level 50, it just takes a little bit longer. So a good intro game would be paintball, where it's like a capture the flag, and you have to capture the other team's flag and bring it back to your base, and just shoot people. That's a good one. Golden Trophy is more of a quest. That's like, I would say that's one of the best beginner quests to do, where there's different levels, and then you have to defeat a boss, and if you win, you get a clothing item. Then you have Dodgeball, which is 4-on-4. Rec Royale Squads, which is very similar to Fortnite, and it's teams of 3. Rise of Jumbotron. This was the game that got me hooked. It's another quest, but it is going to be difficult for a first-time player, but yeah, it's more. I enjoyed it. It used laser guns in there. Crescendo. That one's a very, very long quest. I would recommend holding off on that one right away. Laser tag and paintball, I would say, are 2 good beginner games. Laser tag, you're just on teams and you have to obviously get the most kills. Isle of Lost Skulls, another quest. Then you have 3D Charades, Crimson Cauldron, another quest. Stunt Runner, Rec Royale, which is Fortnite solos. Bowling, which I never play. You have the Rec Center that we spoke about, and then there's some other games down here, but honestly, start with paintball or laser tag or golden trophy if you really want a quest. If you go to highlights and you scroll down, you'll notice that there's other games here that are created by members, so you could look at the different categories or use a search menu to find a game that you're interested in. I'd recommend going to the staff picks, which is the featured rooms, if you don't really want to play a game and just want to hang out or try something that's created by an independent player. Then we have events, the events tab. People could create events and they invite their subscribers and friends, and if it's open to the public, it'll be on this tab, and you could go and pick whichever event that interests you. On the top right, you'll see how many people are actually in the event right now. And then you could also look at what's upcoming, what's popular, and which events you were invited to. All right, next up, create. You don't really have to worry about this button right away. This is if you want to create your own room and use the maker pen, but I would first get used to the controls and learn how to play some of the games before you have to worry about creating something. And then this room, this will just tell you information about the current room you're in. In this case, it's the dorm. Then you have people. So on people, you will see all your friends, and obviously if you haven't made any friends yet, that's okay. The best way to make a friend is by playing games and quests. And to actually get a friend on your friends list, you could either click nearby or the search menu and add them as a friend, or you could put out your hand and hold the trigger button and give a nice firm handshake and hold it down. Well, you don't really actually have to move your hand, but just hold the trigger, and in a few seconds there'll be a friendship icon that's formed. So once you have your friends, you can always find them on this list here if you want to play with them again or message them, which is here. You could go to your messages, notifications. If you subscribe to people, to say, for example, I'll pick Berto. If I want to subscribe to him, I thought I was subscribed, but since I'm not, I just hit the subscribe button up here. And now, anytime that he sends a message out to his subscribers, I will get the information. If he's bothering me, I'll block him, which I won't because he's awesome, or mute him. Report, only use this if a player is doing something inappropriate or that doesn't follow the code of conduct. You'll understand what I'm saying as you play games, and you'll see that there's some people who have behavior that need to be reported, but for the most part, I've had a lot of positive experiences. If you want to chat with them, if you want to party up with them, that means that when you go to a new room or a game, that it'll invite them to come follow you, and you'll also be able to follow them as well. Or you can just hold out a fist and party up. Cheer if you want to give them a cheer. They did a good job on something. Invite if you want to invite them to the room you're currently in. If you want to gift them. Favorite them. Or I guess ban them from a room. I've actually never banned anyone from a room. And then you could look at their profile and all their information. So, that's your people icon, your messages. So the challenges. So this one, this one's interesting because I was actually playing recroom for a while before I really followed what the daily and weekly challenges were. The daily challenges are each day they're going to have 3 different tasks that you could do to get more reward points, and and more, I guess, gifts and boxes. You could, for this daily, it would be to play 2 games of dodgeball, get 2 players out in dodgeball, and to cheer someone. And if you do all those 3 tasks, you get your daily box. You could get tokens. It could be clothing items. It could be food. You don't know until you try it. Then you have the weekly. The weekly over here, you'll see that there's a weekly challenge award, and each week this will change on Wednesdays. For my time, it's 5 p.m. Eastern Standard. And in order to get the weekly challenge, obviously I already did this week, but it's going to be a little bit more intense, and it's going to be maybe playing 10 games of something or completing different quests. So in the beginning, those might be a little difficult. You can still give it a try, especially if you have friends in Rec Room who are experienced. But don't get discouraged right away. It does take time. Then you have your backpack, where you have your camera. You can take pictures, and you could put it away, or you could print them, I guess. You could print them, you could make it your profile. You could save it to private or public. There's a rec.net page, and you could actually view all the pictures you've taken. If you want to favorite one of these items, what it'll enable you to do is grab behind your back, and you'll be able to pick it up automatically. So in this case, I have the maker pen. The maker pen is used to build. I'm not going to build anything exciting, but first day, first week, and maybe first month, I wouldn't really worry about the maker pen so much. I know you might be anxious to update your dorm and make it beautiful. If that's the case, what I'd highly recommend is, well, you could look at your maker pen, go to Open Palette, Inventions, and get more inventions. And then you could look at all the different dorm skins that are available to download for anywhere from free cost to, I don't know, usually around like 1,000 tokens. So if you do get the starter package and you do not want a boring dorm, highly recommend downloading an invention. And a lot of these, you'll want to make sure when you click on them that, let's see, there should be an icon, maybe not for this one, but there'll be an anchor icon if it automatically spawns into your, here we go. If it says dorm anchor under the tags, that means it'll automatically spawn into your dorm exactly how it should. If not, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, and you can watch some of my other videos on how to align your dorm skin. But you could also see up here how many tokens you have. But yeah, in the beginning, don't worry about using the maker pen as much, and just focus on getting a good handle on the controls. There are a few other items here. So we spoke about tools. Then you have skins. So if you get your weekly reward, and every time you shoot a basketball, you want it to be a certain color or whatever it is, you could just equip to your favorites. Food, as you complete different tasks and play games, you'll get different types of food that you could use and enjoy, such as root beer. Alright, then you have other, which is film, which just allows you to use different color films, different potions that have special effects, and different icons that show up in paintball, possibly laser tag, I'm not sure. That's really all that's important over there. And then clubs. if you end up playing and you really enjoy the game, or like say you're really into paintball or one of the quests, you could join different clubs. I'm currently a member of the Adults Who Play Rec Room Club. I'd recommend it if you're 18 and over. If you want information, just contact me below. The store, this will have the different token packages and clothing items that you could buy. And then also, I guess this also brings you back to the inventions tab where you could find those dorm skins that I was talking about and other neat things. So let's go over to the rec center now, and I will show you what it's like. So I hope this tutorial was helpful, especially for those new users who just received a VR for the holidays and are excited to get going, but again, don't really know anyone in Rec Room or understand how to play the game yet. You'll find an absolutely amazing community of people. You'll meet friends along the way. It's really been an incredible experience, and I'm sure you will find your communities and the people that you enjoy being around. Also, if you're creative, there's tons of creative communities, and there's just so much to do, and it's free. So really explore, make the most of it, and have fun. So if you have any questions, just comment below, and I'll be around to answer. Bye, guys. All right, so the first thing you'll notice in your dorm, there's a map that I actually never even look at, but ignore that.